You may not be able to tell who I am, but it is Ducky, and we are back with the next Thaumcraft video. I've been working hard on this one. I do apologize for the delay in between. Hopefully, all you guys got to see my post on YouTube about what exactly has been kind of going on. Kind of had some account issues, and I got them all sorted out now, so we should be able to keep everything whatnot. I thought I was actually going to have to start a whole new channel, and I was worried about continuing the build on the new channel if I would end up getting copyright strikes somehow on myself. I wasn't sure about it, so I was kind of worried, so I just kind of stopped doing everything, put everything on hold, and then in the process of all that ended up getting a group together for a group run. So we are starting a group run on January 1st, so definitely do not miss out on that. We'll be going live on Twitch for that. I think it's midnight GMT is when we'll go live. I would definitely not miss that if you don't want to miss that, because it'll be cool. We got a lot of people and we are starting a massive run on the brand new update celebrating the 10th anniversary. It'll absolutely be worth it, and I can't wait to dive into it. I've been dabbling around with it on the side on my little rocket race right now, in case you haven't missed, well, in case you've missed that, check that out. All the VODs are being posted on here daily as they're being done, so everything on that rocket race is going to be streamed, so definitely worth a watch if you want to watch it. It'll hopefully we can make it to the rocket before the first, but if not, it'll be an interesting attempt. I'm doing it on hard difficulty and it has been a struggle. With that said, we need to continue our Thaumcraft madness, because where I left off, we started our basic wand progression right here, and as you can see, there's a lot more to it. It really is. So in today's Thaumcraft video, I wanted to go over basically all the outfits you can get. These are kind of wigging out with the light. I don't know what's going on. The shaders in the new update, even if you remove Angelica, they're kind of acting weird, so I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, I want to go over the rest of the wands that we have. We're going to go over them all over, start to finish again, so you guys have a clear example behind me of what all you need to do wand progression wise, from the start of the pack all the way on the left behind me to the very last wand on the right, which is basically an infinite wand. So it's a process, as you can tell. It really is, but it's actually not as bad as you think it is, but it's gated very, very far, which is why I ended up having to come into here and set this up in a different tester world, because it's just going to take me too long to unlock everything to be able to show you guys all of Thaumcraft. And I want to be able to start showing you guys what I've found, because it really is a lot of cool stuff this pack has to offer. Let's take a look at our Thaumcraft stuff though. In the last video, if you saw, it's more of a detailed start for Thaumcraft, so if you guys did not watch that first one, I would definitely watch it. It's a bit long, but it's a thorough explanation of how Thaumcraft works, for aspects and viz and all that. So it's honestly a very nice explanation if you're kind of confused about that, because it kind of is confusing to start. Your very first wand that you're gonna end up making is your iron capped wooden wand, and you can even actually get these from those pecs that you see in the magical forest. You could trade with them and get this that way too, but we're going to talk more about the pecs and trading with them later, because they actually give you a wand focus that you need. So we will get into that in, I don't know about the next one, but one of these next Thaumcraft videos coming up, we will talk about wand focuses and dive deep into them, because there's a ton of them and they're actually really cool and what all they can do. But you start with your iron capped wooden wand. This has a capacity of 25 with an 82% average viz cost, and all that kind of matters. You'll see why that matters in a bit, because like this gold banded greatwood wand it has a capacity of 50, but to craft it, it takes 30 aspects. This only holds 25, so you really need a discount on top of that to make your next wand. That's where the robes kind of come in, but we'll talk about those in a minute. If you followed your Thaumcraft tutorial, well, your Thaumcraft quest book, you'll already have your starter robes anyway. You'll make your first wand, you'll do all this, eventually you'll get to this seamstress stuff, the enchanted fabric, and that's what you need to craft your first set of robes. Well, your nicer set of robes, I should say. You do get another set somewhere else. We'll talk about that though here soon. This is where it changes. If you look at your book for your wands, this is where these other ones come into play. So you have your blaze, obsidian, icy, quartz, bone, and reed wands, and each of these have a higher storage or discount of a certain viz type, so you could kind of pick and choose what you want here. It's really not a big enough discount to throw a fuss about it. As you can see, I put icy here, quartz here, blaze, reed, and bone, but I just liked obsidian because the color, it's just dark and it's a nice solid color for a wand. I think I made a iron capped obsidian scepter first, and then I made the gold banded obsidian scepter, and this is where you make the scepter switch. So you go from wands, you only make 2 wands, switch to scepters. These have a higher capacity than a wand would. So I think the wand for this, a normal iron capped obsidian wand, is only 75, I think. So the scepter makes it 112, which is not bad at all. So that's the only thing though. You can't go straight to the gold either, but you do need the gold, because if you're using an iron one and you go and tap a node with an iron one, and like, let's say you want to go suck some out of a node with an iron, you have to be very careful, because it can and will destroy the node and suck it dry if it's an iron cap. If it's anything better than iron, it will not do that. I always go straight for the gold. Gold looks nicer. You can actually use the copper ones, and I believe that'll actually prevent it too. I prefer the gold. The gold just looks nicer in my opinion. But then when you get to the gold banded obsidian, that's still the same 112 capacity. It'll be safer to use around your nodes that you're sucking up dry, because when you're probably at this point, you don't have any big nodes yet. We're going to talk about nodes later in a different episode, but you don't have any big energized or powered up nodes to actually suck from yet. So you're going to want to keep a gold band on your wands, because you don't want to kill all the nodes that you're actually using nearby. Otherwise you're going to have to go find more. Then once you make that, you can actually make your iron capped silverwood scepter. And this one has a capacity of 150. Then you use that to make your gold banded. It's the same capacity still, nothing changes there. But you use it to make your silver bossed silverwood scepter. The capacity stays the same, but this one actually has a higher discount. It's hard to tell, but a charged silver cap has a higher viz discount than a regular silver cap would. It's actually an improvement from both of these. It doesn't seem like it, but it will actually allow you to craft this next wand, because with that and the discount from the robes, you'll actually have enough to be able to craft this Thaumium embossed silverwood. If you notice, this takes 230 to craft, and this only holds 150. So this is where you might also actually, I believe this is where the augment, I think I put this in the wrong spot. I think you augment this one. So you take an augmentation core, a wand augmentation core. You make these with just energetic alloys, Salus Mundus, and mirrored glass. You take these and then you actually infuse them. There's 3 different infusions you can do. One will do a contact discharge, which you don't necessarily need for these. That's more for combat. And then there's the augment your viz channels, which I believe holds more. No, augment charge buffer holds more. Augment viz channels, I believe, is a better discount. You would actually do both of these too. So you do the first one and then the second one. You actually just craft it right onto the wand. So you don't actually make these into something. These just go directly into the wand. You put them in there, and then that will actually increase the capacity. I think it bumps up to like 180 something, and then you should have enough with your discounted robes by this point to craft this Thaumium embossed silverwood scepter. And those robes that you would probably be using at that point would be these bewitched robes. If you check here, you have your bewitched robe. It gives you a 5% discount, another 4% discount. You'd have your nano boots of the traveler probably by that point, and your nano goggles. So that would give you a good discount between all of those. I would do that, and that would help you get to that. There is another trick we're going to talk about in a second, because I've never actually seen anyone use these. Kind of realized they're a bit OP if you actually use them and make them during the season. So this is the season for it. If you're watching, now is your time. You should definitely make these boots we're going to talk about in a minute. But that's your Thaumium embossed scepter. So you're going to probably have to do that on both of these. I do not recall. I didn't actually make it to this one yet. I made it to this one. I believe, yeah, I put that on it just to store more. I believe you do need it to keep crafting these. Put it on there and you'll be able to craft your Thaumium embossed silverwood scepter. After that one comes your Thaumium embossed void scepter. And this one is capacity of 240, costs 300 to make. So the Thaumium embossed silverwood scepter only has a capacity of 150. So this is where you definitely need to augment the heck out of it. Yeah, this one I think you just have to craft. You'd have to make the iron one first. That's what it is. So let's grab an iron one of these. So you actually would need an iron capped void scepter before you can craft this, because this just doesn't have the capacity. It's only 150, but that's enough with the discount and the augmentation core to craft your first voided scepter. So you craft an iron capped void scepter into a Thaumium embossed void scepter. And then you could take that one, because that has a capacity of 240. Then you should be able to craft this. Maybe not. That's 336 still. Unless I might have actually added an extra. Yeah, I did. So you don't actually need that. You could skip it altogether, because it's still the same 240. So that's pointless. So let's change this. Let's fix this so you guys know for sure. Thaumium embossed void. Embossed void scepter, iron capped void scepter. And this is actually a way that would allow you to do these without actually jumping through some weird hoops and all sorts of different viz discount ways that I've seen other people go about it to skip some of these ones here. This is just straight wand progression basically that will get you through with just augments and wands itself. This is basically not including the robes. I think you really only need the robe for that starter one, and then that's it. So iron capped thaumium. This iron capped warpwood gives you a capacity of 375. Then you would take that to make a shadow metal attuned one, which is still 375, but this does give you a higher discount. I think that's what I was going for with that other one. It gave you a higher discount because of the caps. So if you're going to be stuck in that stage for a while and you can't make the next level up one, look at the different caps for that wand rod. If you just hit U on the rod, it'll show you all the different caps and cycle through them, because like shadow metal attuned, they give you a 30% discount, I believe. You'll grant a heavy discount of 30% for all primal aspects. Definitely keep an eye on the caps. So if you're like stuck at like, let's say you're stuck in the Silverwood series, keep an eye on them. Thaumium's not your last option. There's definitely other options past Thaumium that you can use, because if you notice, this one down here is a Silverwood one. It's just Icorium, which you don't unlock until IV. Shadow Metal's your next one, and that will give you the ability to craft this Icorium adorned, Icor woven Silverwood scepter. And this thing is a beast. If I could pick it up, holds 1500 of each aspect. And with those caps, those are also, I believe, an additional 30% discount on top of that. And that will allow you to craft the final wand in the game, which is the crystal studded cosmic neutronium wand. As the name says, you need neutronium and you need infinity, really, it doesn't say it. You need infinity plates, which I believe is UV or UHV, something like that. So that is definitely very, very end game, but it is basically an infinite wand that recharges itself, and it's really nice. It doesn't give you much of a discount, but it doesn't need a discount, which is the cool part. And that is all of your wands. Now you guys have them start to finish. You can go back through. We'll actually take one quick walkthrough just for video sake, so you guys can easily pause it where you need it. Iron capped wooden wand, gold banded greatwood wand, iron capped obsidian scepter, gold banded obsidian scepter, iron capped silverwood scepter, gold banded silverwood scepter, the silver bossed silverwood scepter, the thaumium bossed silverwood scepter. Both are going to need augmentation cores of both types, so you really need 2 per wand here. Iron capped void scepter, thaumium bossed void scepter, to your iron capped warpwood scepter, to a shadow metal attuned warpwood scepter, to an icorium adorned ichor woven silverwood scepter, to a crystal studded cosmic neutronium wand. That is a mouthful, holy cow. And that is all of your wands. So with the wands, as you know, you start making your robes, and your first set of robes is actually these thaumaturge's robes. And to make these are just thaumium and that enchanted fabric that I pointed out. So I was right, you got to unlock that fabric, and that'll give you your first set of robes. You also want to make your goggles of revealing. We talked about that in the last video. We talked about these first 3 sets of robes. The helmet of revealing is what you could put that first set of goggles into if you want a little bit of armor. If you don't mind not having armor, you can just keep them as goggles or put them in nano suits and do it that way, because they can go into a nano suit helmet, but you got to make the nano goggles and then throw them into the nano suit helmet. It is a bit tricky, but it does work. But with all this, it gives you a nice little discount on top of everything else. After that, you would basically upgrade to your nano suit boots of the traveler, which would give you a 4% on your boots instead of that 1. And then you'd switch to your bewitched robes, which are just upgraded thaumaturge's robes, and nano suit goggles, so that'd give you a little higher. But at this point, this is kind of where you hit a brick wall with biz discounts, because there's other options like the void metal stuff. All this will give you warp while you're wearing it, and it's not good to be wearing constantly. So your better option is, and like same with shadow metal, there's the shadow metal fortress armor, which is really cool for armor, but these all do give you warping levels. And warping, if it has warping and a number, it just means that it gives you random warp events at random times, and it is non-stop. So you will permanently be gaining warp if you're wearing this stuff non-stop. I usually would just avoid anything that would say warping if I were you, but it's really up to you. If you enjoy the chaos, there's ways around warp and you can play with it, and it's actually quite fun. There's the sanguine stuff, which you end up using later down the road to craft almost the end game armor, which is kind of funny. So this stuff is really kind of weird and easy to make, but you don't need it really until late game. It's to make this. What's this one? The void thaumaturgist. So there's the void, shadow metal, and then there's primordial. These all give you warping, but they give you a decent viz discount. So there is a catch to them. Like, they're nice because they give you a little higher discount, but they will also wreck your game if you're not paying attention. And like the quantum goggles are revealing, once you're past nano suits and up to your quantum suit, you get a 7% discount. It isn't great, but it's not terrible. And then eventually you can get to your ichor with your ichor woven stuff. So once you unlock Icorium and you're in IV, you can make your ichor cloth. This first level does give you warping, so it is your best robes at this point, but beware, it does hurt you if you wear it full time. So only wear it while you're crafting. Otherwise, you can go from that, you can upgrade that after a little while. You can make the cowl of the abyss depths, the robes of the stratosphere, the leggings of the burning mantle, and the boots of the horizontal shield. All four of these combined will give you a 40% viz discount, which is pretty incredible actually. There is still something even better than these 10% boots that I have not even pointed out yet, because all these boots are just pathetic for viz discounts. And then after that, you go to the Wyvern armor. I don't know how you pronounce that. Wyvern. It provides you 10% on everything as well, but also provides you with warping. So it's not really an upgrade from this. Like, it's powered, which is cool. It gives you spacesuit hazmat, but it still gives you spacesuit hazmat too. It gives you a higher level of warping. So this really isn't an upgrade. This is really just something painful to wear. Same with Draconic. Draconic's where it actually finally gets rid of it. So this is where actually, yeah. So Draconic's where it actually levels up. I was wrong. My bad. Draconic is the good stuff. So you don't really want to wear the Wyvern. This is like just the middle grounds to get to the final armor. And this stuff is really cool. Provides a 15% discount. Still gives you spacesuit and hazmat capabilities on all of it. But if you look, that is like end game armor, and it's still only a 15% discount. And then your final actual end game armor that Thaumcraft provides for discounts, at least, is the Infinity armor. If you wear Infinity helmet, Infinity breastplates, Infinity pants, and Infinity boots, you'll get a total of an 80% viz discount, which is absolutely wild. And it gives you Sanic speed, which is crazy. But that's still only a 20% discount. That is sad because there is literally one set of boots that tops all of these boots, and you can craft them early. Literally all you need is a pair of the boots of the travelers to make them. But we'll talk about boots. So you start with your boots of the travelers. Everyone knows that. You make these first. They're really easy. It's just boots on your arcane infusion, some cloth, some crystals, fish, and a feather, and that will give you your boots of the traveler. And then you can take those and upgrade them further beyond that. Most people just go straight for the nanosuit boots or the quantum boots or the electric. These are all great and all. They give you a little better discount, at least. Like, they at least provide a discount. Electric is only 2, nanosuits 4, I believe. Yeah, quantum 6, 7, 5 actually. So that's crazy because you wear quantum up to IV, which is where you'll get your ichor stuff, and that's still only 5%. But if you come over here and you see these, I labeled them both. So you start with these boots of the seasons. Check these out. These are actually really cool. As a basic boot outside of the season, I don't know if they fall, like if they lose the discount outside of the season or not. If you make them each season, I think you could keep them and store them as a permanent Christmas boot for now, since I'm wearing Christmas ones. But as you see right here, you take these boots of the seasons, they're a 12% viz discount. That's better than all this, all the way up to flipping the Wyvern. That is insane. Actually, that's still better than Wyvern. It's Draconic. That's the only thing that beats it, that and Infinity. So if you take that though, and if you look at it, it's just boots of the traveler, dye, a firework, a sapling, a frost wand focus, which is actually really easy, a book, a firework, sword, and a jack-o'-lantern. It is dirt cheap to make these, and they're 12%. And there's like nothing's gating you on that besides an infusion altar. And same with these. You take them, throw them into your crucible, and it'll pop out as boots of the Christmas spirit though at a 25% viz discount. You heard that right. 25 flippin' percent. That beats every single pair of armored boots you can craft, including Infinity armor. Like, what is that? That is absolutely wild. So they are absolutely worth making. And since it's Christmas right now, they actually do come with a little catch. So if you read your thaumaturge book, this should change, I believe, with every season. This will get updated. So maybe there's a Valentine's one, maybe. I doubt there's a New Year's one because it's so close to Christmas. Yeah, it says you gotta make them during the season. They do have one caveat. These effects become incredibly diminished after the season has passed. So it's just a they increase your speed, and they freeze water while you're walking on them, kind of like the comet attuned magics do. And occasionally you might hear some sleigh bells while you're wearing them, but other than that, you just wear them while you're doing your crafts. You're gonna save a ton of time crafting stuff, because that is just an incredible discount, and it's unlockable at the very start of Thaumcraft, so it's actually really impressive. I've never seen them before, so if you were just now starting, or actually if you're not even, you know, too draconic yet, craft yourself a pair of these real quick, because 25% is too hard to pass. And that's where we get to these other boots. Let me kick on the light again. There's the boots of the meteor, and there's the boots of the comet. The meteor shoots you forward, the comet lets you run faster. You can combine them into the meteoric boots of the comet, where it does both. And then there's the icy boots of the frozen meteor, which I believe just does the same thing, but it freezes the water like these do. So that's actually kind of cool. And then you get into the 3 sets that also provide a discount, but they also provide warp. So I wasn't really going to mention them, but if you really want a discount, so these don't even give you a discount. Boots of the Voidwalker just give you a warp. Meteoric boots of the Voidwalker though. So that's just like the first stage into making the discounted ones. You make these and then you turn them into the meteoric boots. Same with these tainted boots, they'll give you a 5% discount. But yeah, both of these provide warp, so I would just steer clear of them. That is about it. A lot of these, like these primordial, they'll give you a 6% discount. They're actually kind of easy-ish to make. It's just some shadow metal, primordial pearls once you've gotten that far, and some void metal. So like they're actually pretty cheap, and they do look really cool, but they are just remember, warping is not really your friend unless you want to enjoy fighting it. There is benefits to actually using warp, and we can talk about that in a different one. But they even make them into blades. There's the shadow metal fortress blade, the thaumium, and the void metal. Those two will give you warp. Thaumium will not. Void metal also gives you a higher holding hit, I believe, which is pretty sweet. Hopefully that helps you guys understand a bit about the Viz discounts, wand progression, the robe progression, and exactly how you're going to end up having to go through this, because gosh, it really is confusing. It is a lot, and I hope I got to make sense of it all. If I missed anything or just said something wrong, please feel free to mention it in the comments so everyone has reference to it, because these are probably going to be watched for a good bit. My last one is actually doing pretty well so far. Hopefully this helps, and I will see you guys in the next one. Can't wait. Bye.